Hi, welcome to Sunrise YouTube channel, welcome to Sunrise Radio. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, wherever it is in the world, welcome once again. And today I'm joined by another very special guest who we managed to catch, seeing as he is here in London. We've all grown up listening to his songs, listening to his music. We still listen to and dance to his songs as well. I'd like to welcome Anu Malik ji. Welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Anu ji, it's so nice to have you here in London, first and foremost. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to here first.
Well, when you come to London, it's always people assume and presume this must be a holiday. And I'm here with my wife and my two daughters and more another.
Yeah.
But more than that, I am, you see, if you remember, many years back, I'd collaborated and done something. And I can't tell you the details, but there's something really brewing here.
Okay.
And it's been, you've caught me at a time when I'm just into composing right now.
Okay.
And I would share the details with you as soon as possible. But I'm here for a little bit of work.
Lovely. Well, it sounds very exciting as always.
It is exciting because I hit upon an idea which someone has loved, and I've always wanted to do something and collaborate on something very different. And we have been back-to-back meetings. You know how it is when you're creative.
Yes.
You have to be creative also, and the meetings are also taking place, and everything is slowly falling into place.
Yes, well, I'm very pleased. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Now, Anuji, I think let's talk about, we often play your songs on the station, from the very old ones to all the newer ones as well. And I think what's very special about your music is that it's forever. Whether it's something like a Baazigar or we fast forward to something like a Dam Laga Ke Aisha, it still has that magic touch to it, which I feel a lot of music doesn't have nowadays. But explain to me a little bit about the change in the music industry, which you have obviously witnessed.
It's along the years, when I was hardly, 11, when I was hearing the masters. And when I say the masters, you can name any big composer of that time.
Yeah.
I was 5 when I heard Shankar Jaikishan.
Wow.
I was 11 when I heard R.D. Burman. And then, of course, Lakshmikant Pyali Ho. These are great composers. Unfortunately, recently we lost Bapida. That was a terrible blow. Great composer. I heard him. I heard Rajesh Roshan. I heard all the composers. I was just slowly coming, and I entered. That was way back in the 80s when I was hardly 16 or 17. And at a very raw, young age of 17, I remember composing. And people, certain top composers did react to me. I won't name them, but one of the composers told me, have you made this particular song? I was taken aback because I was idolizing this particular composer. And I went back home and told my dad, this gentleman, he said, have you made this song? So he said, oh, he reacted to your tune. And I just made a tune just like that. He had heard it in the recording. In those days, we had these recording theatres where there were shifts from 9 to 12 and then 4 to 8. So I had recorded my song at the age of 17 at a 9 o'clock shift. And I believe he just walked in. And he heard the particular number. Said, who's the composer of the song? And the recordist was telling me, this huge composer. And Lataji was singing his song at that point of time. And he's asked about this composer. So I said, he's a new boy. And then he came up to me and said, did you do it? So I felt, wow, that was a great feeling. And then it slowly started, it was very tough. I won't lie. Work was very hard to come by because you had these top composers around and everything was live. Everything was live.
Yeah.
So you had these 100-piece orchestra and I was hearing these great maestros and wondering when I would get a chance. And I used to take my harmonium, carry it around, actually literally carry it around and ask people to work. And there were a lot of heartbreaks along the way, a lot of heartbreaks. I wouldn't want to discuss those heartbreaks, but they were tough times. But yes, inch by inch, slowly, very slowly. I started getting one film here and there, and I made a mark. And then here I am talking to you.
And with which music or which song would you say that you felt, okay, now this is me, it's my turn, I'm here to stay?
I wanted to prove myself in every song, but I remember working with the great maestros. Imagine if you're 17 and you're working with Mohammed Rafi.
Yeah.
He sang 5 of my numbers. Kishore Das sang about 25 songs. Asha ji, Lata ji, they're the legendary singers. But the song I remember that really caught the imagination of the listeners was a song which no one has heard of, but it was sung by Mohammed Rafi Saab, and people said, this guy has got something. At age 17 he's come up with the song called Mohabbat Rang Laegi Janab Aahista Aahista. But then when I did a song called Dil Chahe Aas Pa Pe Likh Du Naam Tera, was the film Ek Jaane Hum. That was Rajiv Kapoor. Unfortunately, he also, we lost him, a great friend. And people said, hey, this song. And then I made a song, Yaad Teri Aayegi. And people suddenly, everywhere started talking about me. I felt.
Yeah.
Because you know what happened? What was happening? You have these great composers like R.D. Burman, Lakshmi Pyali ruling the roost. And suddenly you have a composer who's being talked about amongst the greats.
Yeah.
Now, I was not being talked about as a replacement for anybody. I was being talked like a certain producer would say, let's try this guy. And I used to rush up to them and hum my tunes. Getting an FC Mera film, Ek Jaane Hum. And then I think the song that made people sit up was a song, Soni Mehwal, Sunny Deol and Poonam Jalwa. There's a number, Rab Mujhe Maaf Kare, Mera Insaaf Kare. So I'd used 9-10 dholaks and I'd used full 100-piece orchestra. And if you remember the tune, it was a very simple tune, but it really worked. Soni, Meri Soni, Soni, aur nahi koi honi Soni, Rab se zyada tera naam leta hu, Rab mujhe maaf kare, Mera insaaf kare. So people sat up, it was written by Anand Bakshi and sung by Asha ji, and people said, wow, this tune for this young guy to make. And Ek Jaane Hum, Soni Mehwal, suddenly I got this huge film called Mard, which was the one and only Amitabh Bachchan. And then people did sit up and say, who's this guy who's making these songs?
Yeah.
Mar Tange Wala and Will You Marry Me and all those Sun Rubiya Tumse Pyar Ho Gaya. But I was now, the door had slightly opened for me. But then again, new composers came in at the time and a lot of things were happening, any changes. Till I got a film, Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi.
Gorgeous.
Which was with Mahesh Bhatt Sahab.
Yeah.
And the song Tere Dar Par Sanam Chale Aaye. This song really, hit the charts. Badalon mein chup raha hai chand kyun.
Beautiful.
So all these songs really got the fancy of the listeners. There was Z was being launched, ZTV.
Yeah.
And they ad nauseum played my songs 1 o'clock every afternoon. And people used to wonder, who's this guy who's composed these numbers? And my name spread here and there. But again, still I didn't have work. But then I think all hell broke loose when I got married, and I remember tough times, no work, and then came Baazigar. I remember when I have 2 daughters, Anmol and Ada. So when Anmol entered my life, I must say that 1992 I got 91, 92 I got Baazigar, and by 94 I think I got the Filmfare Award for Baazigar. And I think the Kali Kali Aankhein song and Baazigar oh Baazigar. Baazigar oh Baazigar.
I was just watching this film yesterday. It was coming on TV.
Jadugar. This song and Ye Kali Kali Aankhein. The people saying this tururu even today. So I think these numbers really make people literally sit up, and rest, as this is history. I'm here now. I've been working hard. A lot of things have changed. Music has changed completely. Film industry has come out with new sounds, new composers, new singers, new producers, directors. but the industry's magic remains the same.
Yeah.
And I'm still here.
Yeah. No, it's so nice. Like, for you to mention Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi, Baazigar, just coming on TV yesterday, we were watching it, and it's actually a lot of the music that really pulls you in. Even when you have the TV on in the background, there's a song coming on, and you know, when you instantly connect to it. And I think that's really nice that your music still has that.
Thank you.
2 years ago, I got married, and on my Sangeet night, I danced to Chura Ke Dil Mera.
Oh my God!
Yes,
Congratulations!
yes,
Congratulations.
yes. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody loves, you know, that music. We have so many
Chura Ke Dil Mera
memories.
has always been Chura Ke Dil Mera, Ye Kali Kali Aankhein, Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi songs. My dance numbers like Yaila Re, people, Janam Samjha Karo,
Yeah.
people love it. And if I do shows, they want me to sing Oonchi Hai Building.
Yeah, yeah.
They want me to sing a Garam Chai ki Pyali Ho.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know what actually happened was, I would also say that I would thank God, Saraswati Ma, that I lucked out with great stars. If you look back, I had a Shah Rukh Khan,
Yeah.
who would become a phenomena.
Yeah.
For Baazigar, I had Salman Khan. The magic of Salman Khan is, you know, you can't even describe his magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luckily, I had him in Judwa.
Yeah.
And, you know, with my music and his face, the magic was complete.
Yeah, yeah.
I had an Amir Khan in Ishq. I was lucky enough to get Akshay Kumar. So, Main Khiladi Tu Anari.
Yeah.
And I do believe, and I sincerely feel that it's teamwork. If you have great music, you have great stars with you, a great producer and a great director, a great script,
Yeah, yeah.
then the great singers, great lyric writers,
It all comes together.
Yeah, it has to, because unless you have these elements with you,
Yeah.
these people with you, you can't be what you are. And I am grateful to every team player of mine. Very, very grateful. That I had some great singers, great lyric writers, great producers, directors, great actors, great heroines. I mean, right from Zeenat Aman
Yeah.
and Hema Ji to Anushka Sharma, who
Yeah.
was my heroine for my film Sui
Sui
Dhaga.
Dhaga. Yeah, yeah.
Many people keep on calling me up and saying that we loved your music of Sui Dhaga.
It's very different.
Yeah, so I would thank Aditya Chopra and Sharad Kataria, the director, who has always believed in my music. Like Tam Laga Ke Haisha, many composers of today,
Yeah.
very talented composer, rang me up and said, "Sir, why don't you make more of these songs?"
Because it gives that 90s feel.
No, Momo Ke Dhage was very contemporary.
Yeah, Momo Ke but Dard Karara
That was 90s.
Very
That was
90s,
what
yeah.
Adi sir wanted.
Yeah.
And Sharad told me that I want a song like that. But Momo Ke Dhage was something which was unlike me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Adi and Sharad and Manish Sharma also, they egged me on. They said, you know what, we want something which is you, but very unlike you.
Yeah.
But something that the song should stay on forever, when you just said the word forever.
Yeah.
And Momo Ke Dhage, I feel today, is a song that's got everyone's heart.
Yes, absolutely. We were just talking about that just just before you came.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. You know, you've mentioned that the industry has gone through so many changes. You also mentioned that, you know, you used to do recordings live with, you know, an orchestra and, you know, live musicians and instruments. I mean, now it's a completely different scenario, isn't it?
You're right, because it was very tough when we used to record. Just imagine the singers are on the mic.
Yeah.
And we have I used to take 60 violins, violas, cellos, and we had the full rhythm section on one side. There were cabins made. There was a rhythm section cabin here. There were the string section on the other side. There were the trumpets and the woodwinds on the other side. And the singers on the mic. I remember one instance which people would love to know was that when I was recording Baazigar Ho Baazigar.
Yeah.
And on the sets with my director Abbas Mastar and my producer Ratan Jain, Shanu and Alka ji were there on the mic, and the song started. Baazigar, oh Baazigar. Everything was that. People were saying, wow, what a tune.
Yeah.
But I suddenly, I remember telling my arranger and everybody, I said, no, I'm not very happy. I think something's wrong with the song. So there was a lot of confusion around this happened on the sets. I'll come down to today's music scene.
Yeah.
So what happened? I said, गाने में कुछ बात नहीं आ रही. And suddenly on the sets, I wrote that line. I wrote it myself. I said, I want the song to start with a different way. Let it start, before it falls on Baazigar or Baazigar, I wanted to literally start with a little alap. When I just told Alka ji to sing, oh, just take the note, And then I wrote this line, मेरा दिल था अकेला तूने खेल ऐसा खेला तेरी याद में जागूं रात भर तरन 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 तरन. I stopped the sound. I said, let the wind blow. And then the song violin came in. And there was deafening silence. And I remember Alka ji and Shanuda and the directors all actually coming out of the hall and saying, wow.
Honestly, wow.
Yeah,
like, still today.
And when suddenly my directors hugged me and said, you've done some magic here.
Yeah.
And then the whole song took off.
Oh.
So, but that was live, remember that?
Yeah.
It was very tough. Changing that on the sets. But today we work on Logic, we work on Nuendo, which is fantastic. We work on Cubase. I've been working on Logic, and I never knew that I would do this transition. It was very tough. It was like undoing everything in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I remember while I was doing that for Dam Laga Hai, how Sharad Katare, my director, I keep on mentioning him, went on telling me, you can do it. And suddenly the word of WhatsApp came in. And live recordings took a back seat, but we tried to get that back. But things have changed, and you have got to accept what has changed and move ahead.
No, absolutely. I think it's just you have to move on, right? You have to move on
and make something much more memorable.
Yeah.
In the given circumstances, and I appreciate so many composers today when I hear them. I don't rest on my past laurels. I don't have that habit. I mean, you wouldn't be able to move on. I mean, I can just say that I've done this and I've done that. But I hear other composers and I find out they do some great work. There's such tremendously talented singers that are around the block.
Yes, yeah.
And great lyric writers. One of them I feel is Varun Grover, who worked with me on Momo Ke Dhage.
Yeah.
So you've got to move with times, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely. Now, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who is wanting to enter into this industry? What is magical but yet so tough at the same time? I don't think
I can give any advice to anybody. I think they can advise me now, frankly, because I need a lot of advice to understand what should I do from here on.
Yeah.
Because I think all the young boys and young girls and young composers and young singers, I think that when I do my shows like Indian Idol, I feel that they all come very prepared. They do a lot of hard work. The one good thing that I would advise them is you have technology with you. So the days of struggle in a way has ended. I'll tell you what I mean by that. We had to struggle because there was no Google. So we didn't know where to go and whom to meet and how to put our talent across. We had to literally wait in a queue and pray to God that somebody's eyes fall on you. Today, what I like is there are a lot of examples of songs that have hit the charts. They record the numbers, download it, and put it on YouTube. And someone is listening. Like if they like the particular number, they ask for the artist. There have been many instances on new talent coming in today who've been signed by audio companies. They heard this girl's voice or this guy's voice and they called them over. So we'd like to sign you up. So it's a great time. So I would advise them, look, if you have the talent, guys, if you're listening to me and watching me, you have the talent, make a great song which you feel is very good. Believe in yourself, but believe in the fact that you can do it. I've always felt that I could do it. I've always thanked Saraswati Ma for the talent she has given me. I would not be Anu Malik sitting here in London talking to you if I didn't have the blessings of God. But a lot of hard work is there. You just can't say that, something will happen ऐसे. You got to push it. You got to keep on trying, and Hindi में हम कहते हैं प्रयास करने वाली बात होती है. So you got to struggle, you got to keep on, and if you have a great song, put it on YouTube. You never know, someone out there listening out and says, I want to sign up this kid.
Absolutely. Anuji, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us. I think I can sit here all day listening to so many beautiful stories that you have.
Well, a lot of stories, but you can't capture that in 5 minutes.
Exactly. No, absolutely.
But thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you.
And for the warmth and the respect. And guys, keep on hearing Anu Malik. There's some more music coming out soon.
And we look forward to it. Thank you.